I'm Tessa Whitlock. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a partner engagement specialist with the North Sound ACH, and one of my favorite parts of the job is getting to support our jail reintegration community of practice. Thank you, Ray. As Liz said, this is one of the ways that we're working to support folks as they're leaving carceral settings and moving back into their communities. So this is a group of network partners, just like all of you. We've got about 25 partners that engage at varying degrees from about 15 organizations, and we provide staff support, and then we've got 2 peer co-facilitators from the network who lead the work. And it's a pretty wide range of organizations. We've got folks providing really direct re-entry services like underground ministries, but we also have folks from higher education, food access, medication-assisted treatment, so folks who you might not necessarily think of in this area of work, but their work somehow touches this, and they bring a lot of great knowledge and connections to our discussions. And getting together to talk about the work that we all do and think about collaborative projects has been one of the really valuable things that's come out of this. So a few of the things we've been discussing and working on over the past year, one of our members brought to the group that he'd noticed that the Anacortes Family Center has a really successful motel voucher program. So when folks are leaving incarceration, they can receive vouchers to stay somewhere in a motel, somewhere safe and stable, while they secure permanent housing. And he was curious about, that's not something that's in every community. So how can we look at their model, take what's working, shape it for other cities and counties? And it's been really great to get just a wide variety of experiences and sectors kind of discussing that and bringing their knowledge to it. Another thing that we've talked about this year is peer support positions. So folks with lived experience of incarceration, a few of our members were saying that they were facing barriers getting those folks into peer support positions back in the carceral settings that they had left. And it was really challenging. You know, this was going to be such a benefit to have these positions there, but their history of incarceration was preventing that. So we had some great discussions about sort of the shared barriers around that, and folks were able to share different resources, contacts, how things looked in their communities, and one of our partners successfully hired a peer support specialist who's now part of our group, so that was a huge success for the group this year. And I will turn it over to Ray and Malik, who will introduce themselves and talk a little bit more.
Thank you, Tessa. So I've had the privilege to be logistical support for our co-leaders, and I will mention that Tony from Underground Ministry was sick, so he couldn't attend, so Malik graciously agreed to come up here and do this solo, so we're doing what we do and supporting our partner and being up here, so thank you so much for that. And one of the changes that we did this past year is contract out with 2 co-leaders to run this community of practice that have lived experience. And I think that's been really pivotal in shifting our work and being able to listen to the experience in the room instead of, following a different leader. So I just want to mention that. So what we're going to do for the rest of our time is I'm just going to ask you some questions and let you speak from your heart. Okay. Okay, he wants to introduce himself first.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here. I got the call this morning that I was speaking. I was coming to stand next to my partner who's a speaker. And on the bypass down here, I get the call that we're on our way, that I need to be up here speaking. So I'm glad to be here based off lived experience. Thank you to the ACH for having us here and putting this program together. Definitely needed for so many of our brothers and sisters that are locked up and don't have no way home. So this is a way that we give back to our community.
Thank you. Okay, so basically you started already. Like, what is it that you want our people to hear about that you and Tony are doing with the reintegration group?
So basically what we're trying to do, or no, what we're doing is we're providing resources for young males and females coming home from prisons, jails, juvenile detention centers. What that looks like is providing them the resources that we used when we came home, the resources that worked for us, the tools that worked for us, the support systems that worked for us. What we are doing now is implementing that back into the lives of those that are coming home to seek a better refuge for their lives and their families and things of that nature.
And what is something that you can think of that the network can do to support this group? We rehearsed this in the hall a few minutes ago.
What the network can do to support, just to be active with us, to follow us on our website, donate, support, however you can. Money's not a thing to me. I don't come from money. I don't get it easy, so I move forward past the financial things. The most important thing for us of young men coming home and young women coming home is a support system, a good community support system. I was fortunate to have a good, excellent support system. To Mr. Powell, that's not here right now, but he said he had the best parents, contraire mon frere. I have the best parents. I grew up with a mother that loved us, prayed for us every day. I'm the middle son of three, older brother, younger brother. We had a father that was present in the house, still present to this day. They've been together for 54 years. So I had a wonderful upbringing. I never thought I would end up in prison out of all of the kids I grew up with, but I did, and I learned so much from it. And sometimes the universe has to pull you out of a place you're comfortable with to get your attention, and that's what happened to me. I was innocently pulled up out of my comfort zone. I didn't commit the crime, but I had to go do the time anyways, and so I learned from that. I took from that. And today, what I do to give back is I take phone calls from prisoners in prison. I give them hope. I pray with them. Many times they're crying, they're frustrated, and we're here for them, to be an ear, to be hope, to be faith when they don't have it. So I just would look forward to the community to be a part of something like this, because it just helps for somebody to call home from prison and know somebody loves them. It's super big. So I just want the community to be more supportive of, and I won't make you raise your hands, but I know we all know somebody in a juvenile detention center, jail, or prison that can use some help and some resources. So that's what we plan to do in the near future, is provide those resources for them.
Okay, one more question. What are you excited about in this work for 2025?
Yeah, the calls that I get from the prisons, we have one guy, Spencer Leroy Miller, who's been locked up for 21 years wrongfully. And to be an advocate for him today, to know that we're bringing him home this year with the governor and the mayors, the prosecutors that all got behind us. He had a voice, which was me and my family and my foundation, and we were able to take the torch to the next level, write the letters, be there to support him. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. He was a childhood friend that I grew up with, but unfortunately went down the wrong road and ended up being around the wrong people, like I did years later. And he ended up doing a long time. So to bring him home right now, to put him back with his family and the other guys that we're working with throughout the prison that called daily, just to bring them guys home, but to bring them home with resources. Because a lot of people don't know, when you go to prison, black, white, or Asian, whatever color you are, when you get through them front doors, your car, meaning your race, meets you. And they usually have a care package for you, slippers, toilet tissue, toiletries, and stuff like that. But when you come home, nobody's there to give you nothing. So when I started this program with myself, Fatherhood, the Foundation, I wanted to be able to be a resource center for guys that come home where they can come get a care package on this side and give them support on this side. So this was what drove me. So I'm very happy to be in these young men's lives and giving them resources that they need when they come home. So I'm fortunate to be doing it. Like I said, I do it on a very minuscule budget, but it's not about the money. It's about the love and the heart and the hard work that we put in for these young guys. So I'm very excited for the future and working with ACH and my beautiful partners right here, just, keeping me grounded. And this is all new to me. This is my second year doing all of this, so I'm growing. So I just thank everybody for having us and just, being supportive for what we got going on.
Thank you for your time, and please hear the message that we're seeking people to come join a meeting. If you want to know, share your wealth of information. You can reach us at tessa@northsoundach.org. Thank you.
So I just want to follow, Malik didn't ask anybody to raise their hands, but I'm going to raise my hand. I have two nephews that were both arrested. They're probably like in their early 50s right now. They were both arrested when they were juniors in high school. And once you get into the system, it's really hard to step away from it. And I don't think that there was ever a moment from the time they were juniors in high school where they were not in jail at some point in time. And once you get into that, there comes a moment in time when people just kind of put you away and lock the door. They both were released when one was 41 and the other was 43 for something that happened when they were 16 years old. And they came out and they realized their entire late teenage into their middle ages were spent in jail. And I have said this to Underground Ministries, I think I've said it to Malik. My heart breaks that they didn't have something like this waiting for them when they were released. They had family, and the family did the best they could, but I wish they could live their lives over again. So I'm so grateful for what you all are stepping into, so thank you so much for that.